Alrighty then.
Finally got it started.
How's it going, guys? Angus here from Muse with the wonderful Lady Muse joining me today for an awesome stream. First we've ever done about 3D printing news and topics. First, before we start, you might want to introduce who you are, because I'm sure a lot of people are coming over from the main channel and don't actually know who you are.
Yeah, there's not really much to say. I mean, hi everyone. As some of you might know, I'm Lady Muse or LM, and I usually work behind the scenes with Angus and make sure everything keeps together and doesn't blow up in everyone's faces. And today, yeah, that's pretty much all there is to it, really.
Yeah, she keeps everything running behind the scenes. She's the driving force behind the channel. Make sure I don't die at my computer editing videos late at night.
Yeah.
And yes, I had a haircut. So that's why she was annoyed, because she has to change my icon now.
Yeah, very, very inconsiderate.
Speaking of, if you're not subscribed, I did enable a new notification icon. If you want to see it, you should subscribe. So we have tons of news today in the 3D printing space. But before we start any of the industrial stuff, we need to talk about Joel telling a 3D printing nerd, because Joel last night dropped a video saying it was his last day at work. And this is massive because I kind of have known a few things behind the scenes, but essentially Joel, 3D printing nerd, has taken the step to go to content creation full time, which is massive. We've been doing it full time for about 1.5 years, almost 2 years now. And it's a big, scary leap, but I'm super proud of Joel for doing that. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think it's about time.
Yeah, I think I don't know how he survived. I'll be honest, he was always editing it late at night, then going to work, and then coming back, and I don't know how he seemed to function on just 0 hours sleep.
Really, I didn't even know how he survived with that kind of timetable, especially he has a family to also look after, so super dad, Superman.
Yeah, he's a super dad. He is, absolutely. So well done, Joel. We're all really proud of you and we're rooting for you. That's awesome. Someone's saying having issues with Patreon. Send me a private message and we'll sort it out. Patreon's a bit buggy sometimes, sorry.
Lots of things are quite buggy.
Yeah, so many things plugged in, it's pretty nuts. So let me just make sure I've got some sound, so I can hear little notifications. They go off.
While you do that, I'm going to enjoy some more coffee.
Enjoy your coffee.
Yeah, actually, he spilled Red Bull all over himself.
Yeah, this fizzed everywhere, so I had to run off before we started the stream and wash my hands so they're not sticky.
Sticky fingers.
Someone said they're subbed, but I don't see any notifications from stream alerts. That's a shame. Let me just quickly see what's going on.
That's not good.
You can entertain them. 1 second.
I do not like being put in the spot like that, though.
No.
No. How dare. I am not some performing monkey you can throw dummy coin at to perform.
Dummy coin.
Yes.
Oh, we've got such a good topic on that. Oh my god.
It's actually one of my favorite topics to argue with Angus. I mean, we kind of debate on it, but both of us will not budge from our opinions, so that's actually quite fun. We're opposite ends of the spectrum when it comes to that topic.
Yeah, cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
Same people are subscribed and it's not showing the notification. That's fantastic.
Well done. I blame you.
Yeah. Why are you not showing it?
Did you even get it working?
Stream alerts is on. Sorry. Maybe stream alerts is down.
What, the actual service?
Yeah.
How dare.
Let me see.
Is it actually important to do it now?
Yeah, no, it should. It is enabled. But I don't know why you can't see it. Anyway,
Figure it out later.
We'll figure it out later. So we're going to jump into our first. Nightbot's rather chatty. It'll quieten down, hopefully. Sorry. Yeah, so we got Therese in the chat. Ignore my chan, FBI. Jan, Panzer Shrek, Aaron, JT. Thank you so much for joining, guys. Really appreciate it. Fun King 3D, welcome. So we've got some really good topics today, but we're going to start off with one that's a little bit sad. And I'm going to fire up the change the screen across. Here we go. So regrettably, Type A machines are closing their doors. So if you don't know Type A machines, they've been around for quite a while producing machines. Actually, it says here back from 2012. And they made quite expensive, very pretty looking machines, like almost kind of like Apple computer style aesthetics, like really clean.
Apple style, but not quite Stradivarian.
Stradivarian, maybe not quite as long lasting. But they had a very high price point. And as you guys will know, 3D printing space has just become flooded with cheaper machines that actually print really well. And it's saying here, with a heavy heart, we announced that after 6 years serving the maker community, Type A Machines is closing its doors. As industry pioneer, Type A Machines is birthed from the grassroots maker movement. It's founded in 2012. Its origins were at the Noisebridge Hackerspace and Tech Shop, moving to East Bay to expand its manufacturing efforts. They moved to East Bay, I think, September last year or something. If I got my facts right, so it wasn't too long ago. And unfortunately, they don't explain why, but they're closing their doors. But just to get a bit of an idea of what these machines were like, there's my mouse. Let's go over here to Matter Hackers, who happen to have one left in stock.
The last.
So if you want like a relic, you can get this. So the Type A Machine Series 1 Pro is a large machine. It had a build volume of 300 by 300 or so millimeters. A little bit larger, I think it says.
I think you're splitting hairs at this point.
Yeah, whatever. A bit more than 300. Single nozzle design, although I believe they had dual nozzle machines as well. And really pretty, but just $4,000 US. If
I remember, the Hive was a pretty good-looking printer. And
the Be the First.
Yeah.
Yeah, Be the First Plus, whatever it was.
Aesthetic doesn't always equal functionality.
No, that was a Portuguese machine, Be the First, which I reviewed, and it looked fantastic, but it just didn't deliver. And I know Joel had some experience with the Type A Series 1 and had a few issues they did fix, like a spool holder issue they fixed. Fantastic motion components, just can't compete in today's market, unfortunately.
It's very brutal nowadays.
It is brutal. Let's see what the chat's been saying, because we can't see the chat while we do that.
You have to scroll down.
Oh, there we go.
So, we're still at the part about the haircuts.
Yeah, I got a haircut. You can deal with it. Killed by China junk. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they were manufactured in America. They were made there, and they were made with linear rails, high quality motion components. A really stand up company, like really a good reputation around support. But I mean, $4,000, you can buy how many CR10s? That's like my baseline now. How many CR10s can you buy for that? You can buy at least 8, probably 9 or 10, depending on what model you get, which is nuts. Actually, yeah, you could easily get 10 CR10s.
Yeah, but how much is that in Cetus?
In Cetus? Oh, yeah. The Cetus is 350, so you could get, you could get 12 almost. 12 Cetuses. At least 11 Cetuses.
You can have an entire workshop going of Cetus.
Yeah. And often what I'll tell to schools and companies is you want parallel manufacturing. You want multiple machines running prints, because one 3D printer, particularly FDM technology, is printing like one little kid's thing, and then it's printing the other little kid's thing. It's doing it all in one go. So your print job's going to take 11 hours, and if one fails, then it's done. Whereas if you have multiple machines, even if they're smaller and cheaper, they can all run one job at once, and it takes like 10 minutes.
Yeah, much quicker.
Yeah.
So why is Angus a weenie?
You can field that question.
Oh, that's quite simple. The bastard cut his hair, so now my icon no longer applies, and I just made him a fresh icon, ready for his Twitter, and boom, haircut.
Yep.
So, yeah, very simple, really.
That's exactly it.
He's not a very protein-rich weenie. Some of you might get that reference.
See, my one works. I just did a test for the subscribers.
Yeah.
I think YouTube must have changed something. Anyway, yeah, so it's really sad. But I did predict that these companies would slowly start shutting up shop last year and this year. I think we're going to see it more because you just can't compete at that price point. It's most people. I think it's also most people who want a 3D printer have a 3D printer now.
Yeah.
We've like most people have bought one at Aldi. You know, we didn't see a rush because I think, sure, the hype's gone to a degree, but I think most people have.
Well, people have
printers.
and people have now enough background knowledge and a baseline knowledge to know what they're wanting, what they're looking for in a 3D printer. Like, there's so much information out there now that companies can no longer just getting away, just releasing, just a 3D printer at random. Now they have to go through the entire process of getting it reviewed, getting it, all tailored to market perfection, I call it.
Yeah.
So it's much harder market now to get into.
It is, and you need a brand like the Prusa Mark III. Joe could bring out something randomly, and people would buy it because he has a reputation.
Yeah.
That's quite good. But to build that reputation takes a very long time.
Yeah.
Oh, I think they're working now.
Is it?
There you go. Le Chameleon just subscribed. So I just needed a boost. Excellent. So yeah, so there's that, and that's interesting. But there's a lot of stuff that's going on in the research field of 3D printing as well, which we've been looking into. So I keep an eye on research papers around 3D printing because I'm always looking to see how people are using it, how people are pushing it. And I came across an article from MIT talking about creating color-changing ink that adds yet another layer of customization to 3D printing. Okay,
that was quite a claim.
Let's dig into this one, shall we? All right. So this is an article on createdigital.org talking about the MIT researchers creating a color-changing ink that adds a layer of customization to 3D printing. So there's this sort of screen, there's this GIF here, and you can see they've got these like pixels, almost like looking at a TV close-up, and it's showing a change of color. And they have a video, which I'm not going to play, going down here, going into it. Actually, I will play it. Why not? Just mute it.
Yeah, go get to the good parts.
Yeah. So they've got this ring. Also, by the way, terrible layer accuracy, guys.
So nitpicky.
So they've got this ring, and it's 3D printed, and they've got this technology. By the way, they're calling it Color Fab. Is a system that lets you repeatedly change the color of 3D printed objects. I know a particular filament manufacturer that might take issue to that.
I was about to say, isn't there someone already with that trademark knocking around?
Yes, there's a well-established filament manufacturer called Color Fab.
Is this a common trend that a lot of these people are very fresh on the scene?
People don't research it.
Yeah, like they just go fresh and it's like, oh boy, I'm gonna make a lot of money, and then it's like they get tripped up by all these little businessy details.
We've been watching tons of Dragon's Den, by the way.
Best and worst show for us, I think.
It's the best show because all these, like, I consider myself an entrepreneur, and I love watching these shows to think, like, how would I act, how would I react, how would I invest if I was like the person on the chair. And these people come in, they're like, "Oh yeah, we're in a trademark dispute because we don't have the rights to the name."
that always goes down very well.
Oh, it's so good. It's the best show. I highly recommend it.
Yeah, and we just pretend to be these knowledgeable twats on our couches saying, "Oh yeah, look at this twat here. He comes in with an idea."
Yes, like he's asking too much money for that percentage.
It's like we would not bet on you as if we have any money whatsoever to talk about.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's the best. Anyway, going back to this. So they're using UV light and UV sensitive inks. Now these are called photochromic, not thermochromatic.
Would you like to say that again?
No. Photochromic. And they change in UV light. Ah, that was a thing. Sorry.
It's a thing.
I can't see it. Thank you for the donation. That was a noise for a donation. I'll look at it after this.
Whoever you are.
I'll find it after this. So they got this app here, which, like, I don't know, that just looks like a screenshot from, like, Mesh Mixer or something. I'm sure it's not. I'm sure it's custom made. But they're showing that you can activate these pixels. And you activate them with a UV light and they change color. Because they're photochromic. And then, therefore, the whole thing changes. Which is like, okay. And then you can deactivate them by just putting them in shadow and removing the UV light.
Sounds
or using normal visible light to just bring the ink back to the other state. And this is kind of interesting, but it doesn't really demonstrate it very well. Yeah. So that would be where the text is where it's not changed color with the UV, and then the UV is the other stuff. But if you've been 3D printing with experimental filaments for a while, this will be recognizable to you. Let's go back.
Yeah.
Hey Ron, thanks so much.
Ronnie.
And who else did the thing?
The thing.
The thing. The thing. I'm just like floundering around on this.
It's a wild man.
Running streams is hard,
there
guys.
There we go, Spike.
Oh, Spike, thank you so much. Keep up the great work, both of you. Huge appreciation for all you do. Really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much.
For LM's tablet. Yay, my pile ever grows.
Yes.
You know, that's why I like real coin versus dummy coin. Like, I could actually use it to buy a tablet. I'm sorry, I'm not going to let it die.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, yeah, so Screwy Louie is saying in the chat, we already have UV filament. Exactly. And Shane's saying it looks like Blender. That's the one. It definitely does look like Blender.
Might actually be Blender.
Yeah. So, what it is they've taken these UV sensitive filaments and printed them in little blocks, which then change color when you shine UV light at them. And they're kind of saying that the technology is large at the moment, like looking at a old CRT monitor up close, but in future it'll be really compact and you won't see the pixels, or on any sort of screen actually, in that matter, for seeing the pixels. But yeah, I mean it's not really what they're saying, and yes.
I don't know. Ian Hopes makes a very good point.
Yeah, that is true.
Like, it's MRT. Often it is research of researcher's sake or for research's sake rather than a commercial application, which is true. Like,
I get it.
Do we have to do research that always has to be applied to a commercial use, you know, at a business value? Because, yeah, I would actually kind of agree with Ian on that one.
Yeah, agreed. Someone said lost stream. No, the stream's all good. Yeah, no, you're right. It is research for research's sake. And I guess that's it. Taking a technology that exists already and putting it into a new application is legit research. Plus, you got to feel for these poor students. Like, there's hundreds of them coming through every 5 seconds, every year, and they have to come up with brand new research projects.
Yeah, and James White says, Angus, do they change permanently to the colour?
No, they don't. So, and this is another thing. Just to crap on UV sensitive filaments again, they don't change color permanently. They remember like UV like rings, like mood rings. There was the ones that change with temperature and ones that change with UV light. You go into the sun, they change color, and the ink changes. What?
What is it? If because when you're at Coles or Woolies and you're in the meat aisle, do you feel you own all the beef?
Yes. Also, when I go to McDonald's, I demand a free Angus burger.
Okay, I'm good.
God damn it, you broke Lady Muse. Okay, as I was saying, no, they don't change permanently. They go back once you remove the UV light source. But UV light destroys the ink as well. The free radicals from UV basically dismantle the chains of the ink molecules, so it ruins it.
Free radical sounds like something you find in an organic product.
It's because they use it all the time for bullshit, but it's a real thing. So we
free
have
radicals now in your local bullshit produce.
Yeah, well, as with most health food stuff.
Anyways.
Yes. Anyway, so what I've done is I printed a cat bust in UV sensitive filament which I've shown in a previous video. It's like, it goes blue. It's white to blue. I put it outside thinking it'd be nice to have like on the front of our house. It lasted 1 day before the blue ink got destroyed by the UV light. So now it's just a disgusting off-white colour.
To be fair, this is Australia where the UV levels are extremely high on a good day, so...
That's true. Yeah. So yeah, we have high UV, but still, I think they don't have any stabilizers that keep them protected in UV light. So that's one other thing they'll have to overcome, which is interesting. But look, it's an interesting project. I just think it's been hyped up way more than it actually should be.
I think it was a little bit misleading.
I think it was a bit misleading.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, they would have had to use a multi-color printing process, which would have taken a lot of time and material. Oh, John, thanks so much. Thanks for all the great, well-researched 3D something. Thank you, John. I appreciate it. Oh, 3D printing info. Thank you.
He tries.
I try to... So the idea of this stream is it's going to be news and articles and interesting things that I find that I think you guys might enjoy as well.
And you get my pointless input at the same time.
You're not pointless.
Thank you.
You add something. I'm not sure what that something is, but you add it.
Je ne sais quoi?
Je ne sais quoi.
Je ne sais quoi, that's the one.
What else was there? Nightbot said stop spamming caps when when you didn't spam caps, and timed out I am Scoza for 600. I'm going to have to
do something about
Nightbot.
It's getting a little bit fascist over there.
It's getting a bit ridiculous. Oh dear. Okay, how toxic are ABS fumes actually? That's a really good question. So there hasn't really been a good conclusive research project into it. There has been a few that have gotten quite close, but as a whole, we don't really know the damage that plastic fumes do.
Yeah, that's still a bit of a contentious issue.
I was talking to someone on Twitter the other day because they were trying to 3D print POM, polyoxy methylene. I can never remember it. POM. Not the drink. The polyformaldehyde or acetal or Delrin. It's a really, really, really good engineering plastic, and it comes in filament form. But it's called polyformaldehyde for a reason. If it burns or you heat it up beyond a certain temperature, it starts to degrade and releases formaldehyde gas. Now, I have tried to print with POM before, and it failed because it warps more than ABS by quite a amount. It then melts to the nozzle and then starts to off gas. And formaldehyde gas, it's there because one, it stinks, and two, it actually makes your eyes water. And I think it's a very strong agent for actually just attacking your mucous membranes. So it can kill you if you inhale lots of formaldehyde gas just because of that. And this is a filament people sell, and actually, I believe even MakerBox had a sample of it as well. And it's a really challenging material to print that actually does have a few health concerns.
But then again, I'm like, they're also selling resin.
Yeah, exactly. So I would be that's a good point. I would be even more concerned with the push for cheap resin 3D printers now, because the resins are known to be highly toxic. There has been research with angelfish eggs, I believe, yes, where they put the eggs, because they have a really thin mucous membrane around the egg, and they absorb the water around them. So it's a good test to see how toxic something is. And they put different filaments, like FDM filaments and resin, to tiny amounts in the different tests. And the only one that was I think that was conclusive 100% kill rate was the liquid resin. It just nuked everything.
Well, it definitely nuked the patch in the garden when you accidentally spilled a bunch of it.
Oh yeah. And I did pour a batch on the grass to cure it in the sun, because I wanted to cure it and throw it away, because it's safe once it's cured.
And for some reason, this involved pouring it directly on the grass.
In the sun.
Why?
Because it was in the sun, and I thought it'd cure and I'd throw it away.
I still can't get that logic, but continue.
It killed the grass, and it never grew back. It never grew back.
So if you want a very effective weed killer, I mean, you know, resin will absolutely nuke the crap out of your garden. But
yeah, so Bo's saying about ABS, to me it's toxic enough that I'll get a nasty chemical hangover. Yeah, it does make a nasty fume. It depends on the brand, but I would definitely recommend ventilation for ABS because we don't know the dangers of it. And I have in the past mentioned that if you're working in an injection molding factory, they injection mold tons of ABS, but it's a different environment. It's not in your bedroom. It's not somewhere like they have ventilation systems. So we don't know. We do know that burning plastic is a health risk. Yeah. But melting it, I don't know. Long story short, don't print in your bedroom. I know people are like, I don't have much space. Make space. Put it in your laundry, for frick's sake. Like, don't put it in your bedroom. Yeah. Not only is it a fire risk, it's a health risk. We don't know what the dangers are.
Exactly. It's just the risk is too great, so you might as well just keep it out of the bedroom. And so Teresa says, "You grass murderer." Yep. Don't ever let this man do any gardening. Yeah, no. And Pierre just said, "Well, you can only put in your sleeping room, then print PLA." There is no conclusive evidence to say PLA is toxic. There's a chance that PLA might have additives in it that may be toxic because we don't know what they're putting in it. They don't have to disclose it. But PLA in its raw form, polylactic acid, is based off cornstarch. It's all starch. Yeah. You could actually eat it if you wanted to. But you don't. Yeah, no.
But they make packing peanuts out of it now. It's like people can... Don't do it. But if you want the safest possible filament I can recommend, it would be natural PLA. No colorants. It's a straw off-white color, slightly transparent, translucent. Just print that. If you want the safest filament, it smells like candy corn. Just go for it.
He says it smells like candy corn, but...
It smells nice. Sweet. Yeah. Well, I usually print with ABS.
Yeah. I think your tasting buds in your nose are broken.
Probably. Probably been printing so long. That is one documented side effect of printing ABS. Of working around ABS fumes is a loss of smell and taste temporarily. That is one of the few documented side effects. But if you're getting a headache, it's probably some other chemical that they've added, I would say. But I don't know. I'm not a scientist.
Should we move on?
Yeah. Do I have a link for Catborg TV to donate? I think Nightbot was dropping it, but did I forget to put a link in the description? Probably. I'm pretty clever like that. Yes, I did. Well done, Angus. Yes, Nightbot will. If you go up, Nightbot's linking it. Wow, I'm super clever.
Oh yeah. The cleverest.
The cleverest. All right. Should we go on to the other topic?
Moving on.
This is so bad though. Okay.
Go on, just dive right in. Get it over.
Show the blue torch test in the background. Okay, I'll do this first. Okay, people are talking about PETG in the chat. PETG is a good alternative to ABS indeed. This is a torture test printed on the Wanhao duplicator D6. And it's kind of like rubbery almost. It's a little bit flexible.
Sounds like cardboard.
But yeah.
Crunch.
Well, that's it. The thing about PETG is it's a little bit more flexible than ABS, but if you bend it too much, it explodes. It shatters. Yeah. PETG will shatter violently, and PET. So keep that in mind. It's strong, but it's also not the strongest filament you can print with. Luke's saying UV light also produces ozone, which is also very toxic, so be careful when using UV light. That's interesting, actually. I didn't even consider that. Yeah, good point. That's a good point.
Throw that lot in UV lighted filaments.
When I used to be into keeping fish in aquariums, because I just have a million hobbies, we'd have ozone layer, like ozone sterilization filters. So basically you would shine ozone into the water shine UV light into the water to produce ozone and kill shit. But you had to be really careful that it wouldn't get into the tank and kill the fish.
Poor fish. Poor fish.
Poor fishies.
Angus does love his fish.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, Tom just did a video on PTG. He did indeed. Tom's been doing a really good series on PLA, ABS, and PTG. So go watch his videos.
Yeah, he's very technical, but he knows his stuff.
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah, if you can get past the technical jargon, Tom is just ace.
Yeah, he's the best in that area.
He's the go-to guy for that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm more off the cuff. And more opinionated.
All the opinions.
Okay. Was the idea for a public Google Doc for topic suggestion bonkers? No, I think now this is in place, I will probably start a, what's it called?
A thing.
A thing. Another thing where people can post. Stay tuned.
Venue, forum?
Yeah, like a forum, but not a forum. Alright, this is going to be good, guys. Okay. Alrighty then. So, context. For a joke, I googled 3D printing ICO, which is initial coin offering. So, the cryptocurrency hype, well, currently it's just going right now. It's dying, it's crashing. But there's so many people jumping on this stupid ICO thing. It's like it's like an initial public offering of a share, if you're not familiar with it. Except it's not a share, it's a token. And the legalities around it are just really vague. Essentially, they're massive scams. There's no other two ways to look at it at this point.
It's like I was saying to someone else. It's like you're trading real money for monopoly money.
Yeah, essentially, you like, and even if you have like a real cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, often these ICOs will require you to convert that into their coin, and then that supposedly has a value that will be better than the Bitcoin. I don't know.
Yeah, it's over our heads.
So I am interested in cryptocurrency. I do not really invest in it. You can tip us in it if you like. But
you probably could do it if you just want to really irritate the hell out of me. So if you want to like contribute to a bit of my rage every day, definitely go for it.
Yeah. Okay, but anyway, this is funny because for a start, this is a paid. This is a paid article. So it says right there, this is a paid press release. So it's not even a real article. So Simone Pacheco Politronica's 3D printing robot... Politronica's 3D printing robot network manager, the company running on the back of 3D token ICO.
That's quite a mouthful already.
Yeah. Right now, I am really very excited. Our projects is meeting great success and our robots network international development campaign officially started. Okay. So we've got a huge slab of text that tells us nothing as to what this actually is. 3D Token ICO is a great accelerator of the project we launched 2 years ago, which is all about the creation of a network of thousands of 3D printers managed by blockchain-based software, able to create the just-in-time decentralized factory 4.0.
Disrupting the industry standards by product cost and time to market. Polytronica, which is being acquired in 2017 by Etron Invest, London, counts as a 9-year high-tech research history. The company was spinned off from the renowned Italian tech university. I'm not even going to finish that.
So, oh, fuck. I would like to buy a full stop, please, Angus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well.
So they have a video, which I'm not going to play because it has copyrighted content from like movies like Terminator and old sci-fi movies. It's just absolutely astronomical. So if we search 3D token ICO, we'll go to their website. Thank you for the donation, whoever that was. Oh look, 50% bonus on token purchases until Ether comes back up. How is this not just the biggest scam in the world?
It's like neon sign pointing here. This is a scam, yo.
So it's like 3D printing. We want your money to make a network, but you have to give us your money in token form, which is going to be only worth as much as the token is. And this is the bit they're saying they've reached $1 million in soft cap revenue
from the 18th of the 12th, 2017.
So
like, I don't know. That's like I've never known. Pretty much, I cannot for myself recall a company that has raised $1 million in under a month.
Yeah.
Not legitimately anyway.
No, not legitimately, and not something that's just popped up in the middle of nowhere. This is one of many ICOs. Keep that in mind. There is probably thousands actually, but I don't think that's real. I'll be honest. I think it's designed to make you think that $1 million from other people have been invested. I think they've actually just made themselves allocated $1 million worth.
Yeah, wouldn't there be a chance that you would be able to find at least some kind of footprint somewhere about that kind
eventually,
of investment?
And they've already done an offering at $31, and now they're doing another offering at $27. So their offerings are already gone down in price.
I think we need to go back to chat.
Let's have a quick look. Sorry, guys. Have a quick look at the chat.
And I said go thank you.
Oh, sorry, Catborg. It got missed. Catborg said hi, Dad. And someone.
Something you'd like to tell me?
I don't know. Ethereum for Lady Muse to invest in crypto kitties. Thank you, Shivel.
Thanks, Shivel. You're a real bro.
So Catborg said hi, Dad twice. Sorry.
Oh, so it's $8 worth of hi, Dad.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. No, thank you, guys. Actually, cryptocurrency kitties is probably something I could get behind.
Probably.
Yeah.
Actually, I might be able to turn on. No, I can't. Sorry, I can't make it show at the same time. Okay, but this is the best bit, guys. This is the best bit. This is their white paper on the initial coin offering page. Okay, this is massive. This is like 50 pages.
Prepare for quite a ride.
And, it's just all the same crap. Tiny text, global decentralized just-in-time factory 4.
Actually, I'd like to see this, go up.
Huh?
So it's what is 3D token? And it's one paragraph.
Yeah.
It's one sentence, actually. So, represents total network robots workforce.
Read it louder.
So no, 3D token represents the total network robots workforce of our global blockchain-based, decentralized 3D printers network. 3D will be tradable on a marketplace, crowdfunding platforms, and look, that actually doesn't really tell me anything.
No. So what they're kind of saying is you invest with your coin, and then that coin can be traded on their marketplace with other people who have this coin as well.
But what's the point?
Yeah, there you go, Catborg. 3rd time's the charm, hi, Dad. Sorry, man. And then if you're interested, I'll post this in the chat. You can have a look at it. It's basically just tons of. It's just heaps of random quotes and timelines in the 3D printing space. It's just bullshit. I just laughed so hard at this. I just laughed at 3D printing now has a freaking coin. It's so funny. It's the funniest thing ever.
And just to clarify, we do know that a lot of you guys in the community do actually invest into cryptocurrencies. So I know that our views can, might actually come off a quite, unfair or really blunt or aggressive. So I think we just need to clarify that we're not actually, attacking people who actually engage in cryptocurrencies.
No.
We just think it's a very, I'm not sure about Angus, but I think it's a very high risk venture that I just don't see the point in. If you can game that system and you do it smartly, then that's good.
For the coffee fund.
Yay, coffee
More
fund!
coffee.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean that's it. It's like shares. You know, you have people who invest in shares and they have a strategy to it. And look, some people got lucky with Bitcoin and crypto, and that's awesome. But this is beyond it. This is like the .com hype point where this isn't even any. This is not even a useful item. It's just here's an idea, invest in it, and then let's go. And there was another one.
Are you talking about ICOs or just?
Yeah, ICOs. Yeah. And there was another one which was recent. Someone in the chat will know what it was. It was an ICO. They raised money. It was like blockchain for the food, like hipster market or something, like some bullshit. And then the website went down, and it just says penis. It like their website just says penis.
It could have been worse. It could have been worse. And instead of the word, they could have put the picture. But
well, but they like just literally scanned people and disappeared. The Google link doesn't work. Okay, that's fine. I will
share it somewhere
I'll
else.
share it I'll share it in the video description after this stream. You guys can have a look. Just search 3D printing ICO. You'll find it. How do I 3D print blockchain? Well, you probably make more money off 3D printed blockchain tokens. I'll be honest.
Actually, there's a story I heard.
Oh, there we go. Shivel's got it.
Where is it?
Oh, no, it doesn't work.
No, but we did get a lovely picture of llamas and stuff.
Yeah, no, the image of the link didn't work.
Well, that image was a treat.
Prodium.io. That's the one. .io.
Check it out, check it out. Prodium.
Oh, it's not even registered anymore.
Nope, it's out.
Oh my god.
That came out quick.
Wow. Wow. So it's gone. Like, it was there. It looked legit. People invested, just disappeared. Catborg. Is that a swear? Yep. Welcome to Makers Muse Live, where we swear.
Yeah, so...
Sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry yet. We may offend sensitivities on this stream.
Yeah, it's off the main channel. It's intended to be a little bit off the cuff.
Yeah. I think it's just a real shame because it's one of the reasons why you're actually behind the concept of cryptocurrencies, because it did have a lot of potential, you know, and it's something that, you know, what is it you think it actually has a use and a need for, but a lot of people have just been drawn into all these scams and lost a huge amount of money, which is just really depressing.
Exactly, and these people don't have that money to spare either.
So it's very, I feel it's very predatory.
It is. Mickey Man, thanks so much. Now you can have the left side cut to match the right. Hair envy.
It's almost like,
I'm pretty happy with it, to be honest.
I probably should say a direct thank you to, what is it, Panzer
Shrek.
Panzer Shrek. Get Shrek, bruh. For the coffee fund directly, so thank you for that.
Yeah, that one works, Shivel, thank you. I can't really show it easily, though. But yeah, click his link to see the penis. The what Prodium, whatever it was, became. Some guy made Ponzi coin 2.0 and still got money. Yeah, and people are right. You're right. People do like to get scammed. There's a sucker for every generation, and it's just unfortunate that it's what it evolved into is scams.
Yeah.
It's what Kickstarter, you know, kind of became known for to a degree till they really tried to crack down. It's still iffy. But there's no regulation. That's what you're saying. Yeah,
like, that's just my entire issue is that without regulation, things tend to go into chaos pretty quickly. And my biggest problem with this entire thing is that in the future now, probably when people start to talk about the legitimacy of cryptocurrencies as an actual global economic solution, people will have this negative connotation of, but remember the crypto crash of 2018. It's now already set a precedent of failure and why it doesn't work. So
yeah,
and so I really loved it as a concept, but I don't think the unregulated market was a good idea.
No, and it's one of those things, like, we don't want regulation. No one wants regulation, but at the same time, it does protect you to a degree.
Yeah,
it controls you, but it protects you. That's how governments work.
we need the right sort of regulation. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, exactly. When's the next Maker Museum ICO.
The what? Maker's Museum.
Maker's Muse ICO. There is already a Maker coin. I'm pissed. Someone already did a Maker coin ages ago. But yeah. Is that why people were eating Tide Pods? Because people said you could make money from it.
Yes.
Pretty much.
It's
Yeah,
more like
pretty much.
they thought they could get money from what? The virality. It's like, haha, look at me. I'm eating a Tide Pod. Bleh, die.
Yeah, yeah. YouTube cracked down on that, by the way. They deleted videos from everyone, even big YouTubers. If you don't know about it, it's so stupid. People were making videos saying you could eat Tide Pods, which are the things you put in your dishwasher, because they kind of look like candy. And people were like baking them into pizzas and things. It's just... Everyone's after what I like... My favourite term for it is the unicorn. I follow a guy called Lewis Mocker. He's an Australian entrepreneur who's really successful in Brisbane. He does some really good videos on Instagram. And he calls it people chasing the unicorn, like looking for these like 100% returns, 1000% returns. It doesn't exist.
It doesn't work like that.
It doesn't exist, and unless you get lucky, like with the lottery, which the Bitcoin boom kind of almost was like gambling.
Yeah.
Because it could have trended to zero. We didn't know.
You have a few winners and a huge heap of losers. That's how the lottery works.
Yeah, exactly. So if you chase these unicorns, you're always going to end up disappointed because it's so unlikely. Whereas I think the real winners out of Bitcoin have been the hardware manufacturers. Because, if you want to mine crypto, you can buy a graphics card. You have to buy a graphics card. Or you can buy an ASIC miner, which is like a purpose-made mining machine.
Yeah, actually one of the commenters, Hamcher, made a good point about that for cryptocurrencies and mining. So if you scroll up a little bit, it's a pretty good one.
Oh, yeah?
So Hamcher said, my biggest problem with crypto is the fact that there are tons of computers wasting huge amounts of energy doing random math nobody needs. Like, it's fun and everything, but at the same time, we're harming the planet.
Completely agreed, and that's been one of the things that people have brought up. The amount of energy being wasted to do this, because it's getting harder. The difficulty to mine Bitcoin, particularly, is ridiculous compared to a few years ago. And not only the energy use, but like the sheer cost to buy these miners, your returns are just dropping and dropping. So you need basically free energy, and that could be in some areas where they've got hydro, for example. That is legit. Solar. So that's why they're setting up these mining rigs in really weird places with cheap energy. I think one of them was like getting set up in China, and I think China's planning to outlaw crypto. But yeah, the real winners are the hardware manufacturers. They're selling the shovels for the gold rush.
Mickey Man Mike, I'm most inclined to say let them eat Tide Pods for Darwin's sake.
Yeah, well they will. And it's true. People will always find the next get-rich-quick thing and do it. And it's just how it is.
Remember it was planking not too long ago.
Oh, it's been planking. Fidget spinners to a degree.
It's like a race to the bottom, really.
I mean, fidget spinners were pretty harmless, but they exploded way more than they should have done. The whole suicide forest thing, which I don't really want to comment on. Yeah. There was just so many people just trying to one-up each other.
Well, that's it. It's like I was just saying. It's like a race to the bottom. As soon as someone does a gimmick that goes viral, there will be so many copycats, and then they will try push and push the envelope until it goes too far. Like, the whole taking selfies off of dangerous heights, like tall buildings and cliffs, and then you always hear a lot of stories about people falling to their deaths. It's tragic. Yeah,
it is tragic. Cinnamon challenge. There you go. She will just posted that. Yeah.
God.
The cinnamon challenge can kill you.
Yeah.
Cinnamon is a really good desiccant, actually. It's actually really, really effective. So if you accidentally inhale it, it can dry your lungs out so you can't actually absorb oxygen anymore and kill you very easily. There's a lot of gold in Australia. There is, but it's not as easy to find as you might think. It's a big country.
People saying there've been a couple of comments that say that people are stupid or people are silly or who get drawn into these, but it's almost like it's actually on the mentality of hysteria, really, that you can actually get very logical and reasonable people who end up falling into these traps. So how do we account for that? Like, not everyone who falls for these scams or these gimmicks are necessarily idiotic.
No, they're not. It's it's doing people a disservice to say people are idiots for falling for scams, because they almost prey on social engineering of us as a species. Because if something is being popular, it's being bought into, you lower your guard.
Yeah, it's hysteria.
It is hysteria.
Yeah, like not too long ago, the trend was Tupperware parties.
Yeah, yes, yeah. There's
femme products door to door.
Yeah, absolutely. People, make money from home selling products to your own friends. Great. How's that going to end?
Yeah, I know. Even a couple of my friends got looped into that, and they lost money on that. But yeah,
of course they did.
But I wouldn't call them very unintelligent people. I would call them very, very bright and smart. It's just you just don't know what you're going to get suckered into.
No. And look, Ron's saying, I got lucky and made money on Bitcoin. Absolutely. A lot of people did. A lot of my friends bought it as a joke ages ago and made a lot of money. But it's not a sustainable business plan.
Yeah.
Which I guess also takes us into this thing. I just released this video last night. So this is the new tolerance gauge test. Tolerance/clearance. Which I did clarify in the video. Some people weren't happy with my description of tolerance versus clearance.
Just going to interrupt for a second.
Yes.
Teresa said, people as a group are stupid, but on their own, singular humans are not so much. Thank you. Perfect.
That's very true.
Absolutely.
Very wise words.
Thank you.
As a species, we're dumb. Individually, we're very smart.
Yeah, it's the mob mentality.
It is the mob mentality.
Okay. Now you may continue.
So let me talk about this. Talking about clearance and tolerance. To clarify again, tolerance is you have a number. So this is a number like 0. So it's like, it's like 10 millimeters plus or minus a certain amount, like 0.5 millimeters, which is an allowable tolerance, because nothing in the world is exact. Nothing. Even the world's most accurate kilogram model loses mass over time.
Yeah, so they have to keep redoing it.
Because of, decay.
Was it not like...
That's tolerance. Clearance is a set distance you set in your software. So this is really a clearance gauge, but tolerance test rolled off the tongue better.
Tolerance test.
And it does test your tolerances too, because it tells you what you can allow, what your printer's capable of. So it's a bit of a fidget spinner, but this is my answer to making this kind of thing sustainable. Going back to get rich quick schemes, the whole chasing the unicorn thing. A lot of people in that video commented about YouTube AdSense. And don't you make enough money on YouTube to do it? Why are you charging $2 for a file? And the thing about YouTube is we don't control it as a creator.
As a lot of you guys will be aware, made of the recent demonetization thing, YouTubers have very little control over their earnings, and it just shows how easily it can be ripped away from you. I feel sorry for all the small channels that got hit.
Yeah. So as you guys have seen with the recent change with the minimum 1,000 subs and 4,000 hours over 12 months watch time. Anchor sells machines for a long time. A lot of people won't get tolerance. That's true. It's a little bit confusing.
Do we have a tolerance for Tide Pod eaters?
Tolerance for Tide Pod eaters. It's like, eat a Tide Pod. The tolerance is you may die or you might live.
Why haven't we got into this? It's like, here's your Tide Pod tolerance sample kit, and we just we should market this. I mean, it's like each little spit of sample, and we can see where your tolerance level is at. It's like a tiny Tide Pod, medium Tide Pod, spicy Tide Pod,
That's a different kind of tolerance. That's a tolerance level. It's like eating spicy food.
Or cyanide in small amounts, so you grow immune to it.
Yeah, so that's why I feel sick every morning, isn't it?
Yep.
You sneak it into my lunch.
Damn, and yet you persist.
Yes, anyway, back on topic. So YouTube, we don't control AdSense, and YouTube at any one time can decide to be like, well, we're not giving you money, basically. We have no control or even ability to really see what's going on behind the scenes. So YouTube takes a 45% cut of every dollar of AdSense revenue that we get as a credit. So let's say over time we get $1, YouTube takes 45 cents, we get 55 cents. And that comes through, and then I pay conversion fees, and then I pay tax on that. But the thing is, that AdSense revenue is dependent on advertisers on the platform. And that is a changing force. So there's something known as the January slump, which is well known in creatives like myself, or even in the advertising industry. Because everyone who wanted to advertised before Christmas. Because you want to build hype for your brand to sell as much crap as you can before Christmas. Right?
Yep, you're right.
Yep. And we all know that the amount of bullcrap ads we get. And then after Christmas, it's January, everyone's budgets are spent, everyone's been on holidays. So inevitably, after Christmas, ad revenue plummets. So that in itself is one thing. But if you have advertisers leaving the platform too, thanks to a certain large vlogger, then it's even lower. So to put it in perspective, guys, the amount of the reliability of AdSense revenue this month is 1/4 what it was in December.
I have to say, I do love the comments, and is it Teresa? Or Teresa's definitely making me laugh.
Teresa.
Yeah, like this is like the adult version of Saturday morning cartoons, and Lady Beats, a daily overdose of laxatives is far funnier. You know, I would be
Don't
inclined
give her ideas.
Look, I would agree with you, but the aftermath in the bathroom is not really worth it.
Yeah, she'd have to share the bathroom.
Yes, there's the flaw in that scheme. And yes, it was definitely a reference to The Princess Bride, so the cyanide comment.
Yes.
Also, my mum, while growing up, had a lot of crime shows, usually, going on in the background. So
your mum loves crime shows.
She loves it. It actually scares me. It's like, if she really wanted to do us all away, she would definitely know how and when and why. And get away with it. So.
Or watching like air crash investigation after I'm just flown there to, or like about to leave again.
So don't mess with my mum. She'll know how to clean us up real quick. Yeah.
And Randy is saying, on the creator side of things, how does YouTube Red factor in? Is there any benefit to your subscribers also being Red subscribers? That's another thing we don't know. YouTube does separate out YouTube Red from standard AdSense revenue, but I don't know. Let me give it a quick look to give you an example. I won't change this. Oh, I can't. No, I can't do it. I'm on another. Okay, I can't show you. Sorry.
What do you?
I was going to try to show you the percentage, but I can't change the other channel.
Just tell them.
I can't see it. I can't change to Maker's Muse because it'll log us out of the stream.
Ah, well, never mind then.
But it's usually quite low. Usually it's like $10 or so on a video in YouTube Red revenue for about 30 days. And that we don't know how they calculate that. It's just made up. It's a made up number. They probably just pick it out of thin air and be like, yeah, they can have this much.
It's kind of really like the Wild West.
Yeah.
In there. So it's just too many variables to work with that you cannot just really rely totally on YouTube anymore for the AdSense. It's just too wild.
Yeah, it's absolutely nuts. So I'm working on an ebook which will be covering a lot of things about being a creator, maker, technological channel on YouTube. But to put it into perspective, by making a file like this and selling it, I take into my own hands the ability for me to keep this thing sustainable rather than relying on a viral video or YouTube to just randomly choose to select a video and publicize it to make more AdSense on a platform that has widely varying AdSense revenue. So that's why I produce stuff like this. That's why I will continue to produce stuff like this. And that's the long and short of it.
That and also does contribute to the community more and more and help keep the community invigorated and engaged.
Yeah, and I'm here to I'm here to inspire creativity. So that's why I made the previous one free, because I get it. Some people don't have PayPal or a credit card. Some people are literally broke. Like $2 is literally more than they can afford.
Yeah.
Or if you're like 13 or something, you don't have any access to that. Then I made the other one free, so you still have something to use. I'm never going to just shut people out. That's not my way.
No, you're not going to become a pay-to-play service.
Yeah. What I'll do, guys, is next week I'll be prepared to give you a breakdown actually on how YouTube Red works. I'll come back with some data.
I think it was also a good point to say that YouTube takes about this much percentage of the earnings, and then our government takes a certain percentage of our earnings, and Australian tax system is brutal.
Yeah, we're about a third tax.
It's a 30%.
It's 33 or something, 32 and a half, I think. But then it becomes like 35 once you get over a certain amount. And because I pull out a lot of my money for living expenses, that doesn't get counted as expenses. It's counted as owner drawings. So it doesn't reduce the tax at all.
Yeah, so it's James White and Teresa are just very good points when they say, Angus, you do not need to explain if people wish for your designs, they should purchase them. Your time is worth something.
I really appreciate that.
And Teresa says you also have to factor your time and effort making the content, so something you're going to have to charge for things. So yeah, absolutely agree.
Yeah, no, you're right.
It's like how I like for illustration, I can't just keep doing free drawings for everyone. It's like you do some freebies because you love doing it. It's a passion, and you want everyone to enjoy what you're doing, and it helps build community, and engagement, and it's fun. But if you really want to sustain it as a living and make it more long term, you will have to charge for things and add their actual value.
I suppose the long short of it is the people who complain about a $2 file won't bother to watch this stream. So I appreciate all of you for being here. People are asking what's got the lowest percentage of a cut. Gumroad is about 10%. The lowest percentage is actually the donations through this through the Streamlabs link. That's actually very low. It's just like a dollar or two, depending on PayPal. It's just PayPal's cut. And Patreon's quite high. It's more than 10%. And YouTube's the most greedy though. YouTube Super Chat is 30%, which is why I don't even have it enabled here, because YouTube can just get stuffed. Try paying rent with exposure. Yeah, exactly. And we have a lot of house prices in Australia are ridiculous. We pay a lot for rent.
That is like try paying exposure is like I can't really buy bread at the bakery with exposure.
Yeah.
Like, yo, I want to live and check these buns. It's not gonna work.
Doesn't exposure kill you? Don't you die from exposure?
you get it. You die. Or it depends on the exposure. I mean, there's indecent exposure. I mean,
well, yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway, guys, so let's do some questions before we finish up. I really appreciate you guys joining. It's been loads of fun. I will put the blah 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 blah. I will put the links to what we've talked about in the video description. So if you want to come back and check them out, links to Taipei closing doors, very sadly. Links to the stupid dummy coin 3D token.
I think I'm slowly converting you.
Oh yeah, that was the ICO. And link to the color changing MIT video.
Yeah. It's fun doing these streams.
Yeah, it is lots of fun. Commissions in return for exposure, exactly.
Oh God, have you had those before?
Oh yeah, I get people. I don't do commissions anymore. I don't have time, and also, unfortunately, the people who choose to say that are the people who are like the worst clients in the world, because they just expect so much for free. Or if you were like $10, they expect so much for $10. Whereas if they're paying like a few $100 for a 3D design, they're usually really good clients. So I just don't do design work anymore. I'm just like, look, go talk to someone else. I don't have time. I just do the channel.
You're literally swamped. You can't do it. It's like you can't even really do consultations even. You don't have
I'm
time.
one person. I can't do consultations really. Yeah. Will this be every Friday from now on? This will be this time from now on. We might not be able to do it in March, second week of March, I think.
First week of
March. We might not be able to do it because we might be doing something else.
Yeah, we'll be doing something else. We'll be somewhere else. So I think for the first 2 weeks of March, we won't be able to do these. But yeah, we'll continue as usual.
Yeah. But basically, if you hit the bell icon, these will be scheduled in advance, so you'll be able to see them coming up and plan for them. Was there an explanation of Lady Muse's tweet? Yes, I got a haircut, so I ruined her little icon.
Yeah, inconsiderate weenie.
Yeah.
I originally posted he was an inconsiderate bastard, but then changed my wording because I thought that was a little bit too mean.
Yeah, so you just say bastard here instead.
Yeah.
Simera or Chimera, who sells natural PLA in Oz, and is it cheaper? There's not really much of a price difference between natural and coloured PLAs. I don't know who would be the best person to get it from. I mean, Hobby King sells PLA. That's where I get my stuff from. It's just because they're close to me. There's Kingdom 3D who sell eSun in Queensland. I don't know actually. There's a few, but I don't really. I actually don't deal much with Australian suppliers. I'll be honest.
Not many of them approach you.
No, not many of them approach me. It's sort of like the Australian mentality that you're a competition kind of thing.
Oh, it's terrible here. Like everyone's competition.
Randy's saying I'll be getting some Polyalchemy Elixir in the near future. Any tips on printing with it? You need to increase your print temperature to about 215 degrees. Try that, and then try 210 or 220 depending on how it's printing. Polyalchemy likes a higher temperature than normal PLA. Don't print it at 190. It's not going to work. 210, 215 is a good starting place.
What else?
What else is going on? What do I think about Joel going full time? That's a good question. What do you think about Joel going full time?
I think that's great. I think it's fabulous. Like,
I agree.
Yeah, we already touched on it a bit at the start. So again, another congratulations to Joel. It's been a long time coming. But I think this is. I think if anything, this is just going to be a huge boon to his health because the schedule he was pulling to go. Before I was really concerned for his health, to be honest. Personally.
Yeah, I don't know how he does it. Like, working for yourself, you never really stop working. I get that. You'll be editing videos till midnight sometimes. You'll be stressing over stuff when you're in bed. You'll have to get up and just do some numbers and write down ideas and go back to bed. Like, you can't turn off from working for your own business. But Joel was working another business.
At the same time.
So I don't know how he did it. And honestly, with kids as well. Kids in a big family.
Yeah, so it's like being a fabulous dad, doing another, full-time job, and then doing this on top. It's just like, it's impossible.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
So we're really proud of him. And so give Joel full support. I think he's actually got some sponsors on board to help make it sustainable, which is awesome. And so yeah, definitely give him our full support.
And such a fabulous fellow, so
yeah,
absolutely love the Joel.
Yes. Aldi. Talking about Aldi, yes. Only in Australia did they do the 3D printers in the stores. Apparently in the US, in the UK, they did them online. But here in Australia, they actually have 3D printers in the grocery store in Aldi with filament. And I did print the grey. This is actually the grey Aldi filament. There you go. It's actually really nice. It's sort of a little bit, almost like a sci-fi metal look. I quite like it. So, yeah. Aldi did a good job. I was quite happy with that. $500 Australian for a 3D printer is really impressive.
And Domenico said, as someone who was literally hospitalized for the effects of exhaustion, I can't explain how happy I am for Joel. He needed this. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. It's so easy to do as well. It's so easy to push yourself to the limit. And then you get sick all the time. You start getting... I remember when I was working my ass off in my old job and doing the channel, I would start getting eye twitches. That's when I know... It's like my body telling me, Angus, stop. When I get eye twitches, it's like you're beyond the level of stress that you should be.
Yeah.
It's awful. It's a horrible feeling. And then you lash out at people.
Anyway, great way to start 2018.
Oh, absolutely. So proud of him. Yeah. So Joel's got Matter Hackers sponsoring him, which is awesome.
They've always been good. And I love Mara. Topless.
Mara?
Yeah.
Oh, yes, absolutely. No, she's gorgeous.
I love the women in all the 3D print community. I mean, damn, they're inspirational.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, people are saying I've only got a Lidl near me. We don't have Lidls in Australia. We used to have in Chivalry. We were having a chat about supermarkets.
What? In Chivalry?
Yes.
So you're basically slicing each other's heads off because if you don't know, Chivalry is a game where it's medieval combat. It's knights. So you're chatting about supermarkets.
Yeah. So this is like a game from like 2012. It's ancient now. And we were talking about like oh, do you guys remember Bilo? Or like, when was the last time you shopped at Bilo? And then we were like, oh yeah, what about Franklin's? And then we're talking about how IG8 took over WA.
I have no words, man. You're on your own for this one.
We had some really, really quirky supermarkets in Australia. Aldi is quite a new thing for us.
Actually, they had to fight their way in, I think.
They did, yeah.
Like, Woolies and Coles
Woolies and Coles
protested
became
really
so
bad.
big that...
No, they protested. I think they tried to actually prevent them from coming in.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Well, yeah, shows of me.
Yeah. What will the next stream be? I'm gonna do a stream next Wednesday, which will be the one downstairs, and then there'll be another one this time again next week here with more 3D printing news and topics.
Am I invited?
No.
Okay.
And news and things like that. I'll show my age here. What about SSW? I don't know SSW, man. That was before my time.
In the days of old.
A little question for someone too late. Is that Lady Muse? Are you Lady Muse?
Yes.
There you have it. Straight from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, the horse. Thank you. Yeah, just a straight shot, answer for that one. No sass for that one. So, hello, yes, I'm Lady Muse.
Yeah, but that's right. Bilo was bought by Coles. Yeah, there used to be one in near my old school. So we'd leave at lunch every time, and then like every lunchtime, and buy whipped cream for lunch.
Whipped cream.
Yeah,
for
because
dinner.
like we were so like free from the shackles of being in the school for lunch. Do you speak Afrikaans?
No, but my parents speak Afrikaner as well as my older sisters. Unfortunately, I was not raised with Afrikaans. I was raised fully English. There's only one phrase I know from my youth, which I don't even think it's accurate anymore, is it's a pampoenkop, which apparently that's supposed to mean you are a pumpkin head, because that's what my grandmother used to say to us, but I wouldn't quote I think I said it completely wrong and don't remember it. But anyway, I digress.
How do you say hello in Afrikaans?
I don't know.
Oh. We need one of your sisters in here or something.
Yeah.
To just do a whole stream in Afrikaans.
We're diversifying in our language.
Yeah. All right, guys. I'm probably going to call it there. This has been an absolute blast. As I said, I will put the links to the articles we've discussed in the chat. In the video description once we've finished here. This will be up live. Again, look forward to another hardware-related stream midweek next week. They will be scheduled again, so hit the bell icon, and another one of these same time next week.
Yep.
Same time, same
time, same place.
Same place.
With more coffee.
Not ripping the WAN show off at all.
So, learn from the greats,
Oh yeah, no, I love the WAN show. All right, guys, I look forward to seeing you very shortly here on Makers Muse. Speaking of which, WAN show should start very shortly.
I know what you'll be doing now. Yep.
All right, I'll catch you later very shortly, and happy printing. Bye.
Ciao.
Doop 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 doop.
Yeah, would you like to?